Hello, this is Wmpyr, here to do some real talk. This is, of course, just my 2 cents. And one of the first things you should be doing is working on your angles of attack, right? And, that's all great and everything, but we got to be real about it. Why do you learn this, the angles of attack? And there's many different forms. The one that I like to start off with is I always teach the 5 angles of attack and then the 6 angles of attack, and those are the two that I saw Professor Danny Nosanto teach that on online, and I just thought it was a really good one. The one that I learned was a 12 angles of attack. It's a 12 count, but I like those better. So, those are the ones that I've adopted instead. It's just a personal preference. The main thing is you practice the angles of attack, but why? And, in reality, the reason why I teach it to my students and I tell them, look, you need to practice this is for 2 reasons. Okay. Number one is we want to develop control and hand-eye coordination. Why do we want to do that? And the purpose for that, like I said, there's 2 reasons, is to learn the Heaven 6, which is more complex. So that is a more complex technique. And in order to be able to do that, you want to be able to have a decent amount of control and hand-eye coordination, because it's just a harder technique. So that's definitely one of the reasons to learn the Heaven 6, which is double arm waving. So to be able to do double arm waving, and once again, people mistake that as I'm never going to have 2 weapons at the same time in a real life situation. No, it's about using both arms simultaneously. So don't mistake that for double weapons. Even though we train with double weapons, it's really about being able to use both hands simultaneously. And then the second part is partner training. So in order to do partner training, if you don't have control and you don't have hand-eye coordination, you're dangerous and you can't do partner training. So those are the 2 reasons, is for the Heaven 6, which is once again double arm waving, and the other reason is for partner training. Okay, that's why I teach the angles of attack. Now those 2 reasons, they don't matter in a real life situation if you think about it. The opponent doesn't care that you're going to learn the Heaven 6 later, and that's why you know the angles of attack, or they don't care that you're able to do partner training. None of those things matter, right? And what I'm trying to say is that everything you do in martial arts, what's important is that for a real life situation, the stuff that you do has to give you an advantage. You have to go, why? Why am I doing this? How does it give me an advantage? At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. What you're doing, does it give you an advantage over the other guy? Whatever that they do, is yours giving you an advantage, okay? And to take away their advantages, that's what you want in a real life situation. So at this point right now, you guys practicing the angles of attack and you're learning it and you're just getting repetitions, it's, in my opinion, it's not going to give you an advantage at this point, not yet, right? So then let's think about if you do put in the time to learn the angles of attack, what can it do for you? Well, you're going to become more smooth, right? That's obvious, right? And I see plenty of people becoming more smoother. Okay, that's all great. So you become smooth. How would that give you an advantage in a real life situation? So my opponent, the bad guy, is going to go, with instinct, and they're just going to be swinging this around with anger, ferocity, aggressiveness, right? To dominate and to try to cause fear in me. Okay, so that's how they're swinging it, right? And I'm using angles of attack, and I've put in a lot of repetitions, so I'm smooth about it, right? The only thing I can really see there is they look at me and they go, wow, this dude's trained, and they lose confidence in themselves. That's it. But that is not a scary opponent to begin with. If they're going to lose confidence in themselves that easily, to me, they were kind of a joke to begin with. So what exactly can the angles doing the angles of attack over and over, what else can it do? Well, like I said, it makes me more smooth. It makes me more economical, right? More efficient. So my base is going to be better, the balance, right? My footwork will be better, my energy expenditure, all those things will be better, right? Compared to the opponent who's going to be going more out of, maybe they're actually using the adrenaline to help them do this. They're going to be not as efficient. They're going to be more choppy in their movements. Their balance is not going to be as good. After they swing, they're going to have more time they need to recover from that swing. And they might do it just out of pure instinct and their natural athletic ability, things of that nature, to make up for what they don't have, which is the training that I have, right? And yeah, that gives me an advantage, but not by a lot, believe it or not. Okay, what I'm talking about here, it's going to take time because they might be more athletic than I am, just physically superior than I am. And that's probably why they can instinctively sense that, because they're a predator, because they're criminals, and they see that I'm physically inferior. So they might be at a higher place. But because of, like my training, like I said, eventually I might come out on top. But that takes time. That is a battle of attrition, right? So as we're swinging the stuff around, they're swinging it their way, I'm swinging it my way, and we're in a fight at that situation. I'm trying to protect myself. They're trying to do a crime on me, right? Make me into a victim, and we're going at it. So, like I said, it's eventually gonna. This might happen, but it takes time. So think about that. That is a battle of attrition. Okay. Now, this is the last thing that I want to cover here is people talk about in a real life situation, you want to end it fast. You don't want to joke around, and this is not sport, and they say stuff like that. And this is, people don't understand reality. And to me, they are making a big mistake here by saying that. They're confusing real life tactic with what they want. Okay, yeah, of course I want to finish this guy like in 2 seconds, put him on my highlight reel and brag about it. Of course, right? The reality here is that that's what they're trying to do to me, because they're the criminal and they want to attack me and they want to turn me into a victim. They want that as fast and as easy as possible. And that's why they chose someone they thought was weaker, right? They're not, it's not about bravery. It's not about a challenge. They want someone that's easy. And that's what they're doing here, okay? So they want it quick, fast, easy. They want to dominate and terminate. That's what they're looking for, right? For me to counteract that, I want the opposite. It's yin and yang. So, because if we're both going for hardcore, who could finish who quicker and faster and dominate more, then we're both doing the same thing. We're going to butt heads, right? And then whoever's stronger is going to come out on top. Whoever's more determined is going to come out on top. That's not what I want to do. So in my case, I want to protect myself. I need to do the opposite. I want this to go long, because the longer it goes, the more that their plan is failing. I want this to be a battle of attrition. I want to survive. I don't need to finish them. I need to survive. So it's a completely different thing. I'm here to protect myself and my loved ones. All right. So that a lot of people have gotten wrong. All you got to do is just really, really put some time in and think about it. Really think about it. Okay, not what you want to fantasize about, but what is more realistic, what is more possible. Okay, you're in this situation because of some kind of mistake. They set you up. You went into the wrong side of town or whatever. It's their turf. They're making the rules. They're coming at you. So then we have to adapt to that. And we're not going to play their game. So that's it for now. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.